to them. The all-seeing guys. The all-seeing guys. With Greg and Joe. The all-seeing guys. The all-seeing guys. Greg and Joe.
Hello, welcome to episode 233 of the All Seeing Guys podcast with Greg and Joe. I, of course, am Greg, and I'm joined, as always, over the Skype waves by... Who are you?
Obviously Joe Jackson.
Obviously, Joseph Jackson. Straight off the bat, we have got some serious lag on our conversation here. It shouldn't affect the audio too much, but in the discussion, there's been a few times where I've either lost Joe or he answers me way after I've asked the
Yeah,
question.
we are lagging. It's all right. You see, the
So-
weird thing is, in my end, everything's fine. Like,
Oh,
absolutely.
that's so weird how... It kind of doesn't make sense, does it? Time's a weird thing on the internet.
Well, let's not get into time as a.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's a constant.
Also want to address something that Mara messaged me about is that I kept calling the episode number wrong last week by a full 100 episodes lower. Even the artwork said episode 132,
I didn't
which I
even
have
clock
changed.
that.
I have updated it and changed it all, apart from like on the social media posts, are probably the same, but I have changed it.
That's hilarious. I didn't even clock that.
But yeah, so 232 last week, 233 this week. Episode whoops went up as a bonus, so it doesn't count. Haha. Got my own way.
Got my.
So yeah, anyway, that's the admin over. Let's get the admin out of the way.
Yeah, just
How we doing, Joe? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm very good. Yeah, work's an interesting one at the moment, but I can't really get into that as it involves someone's health deteriorating. So there's that.
Oh, fantastic! That's always fun. Is it yours?
It's not. No. I'm surprised. Well, basically, yeah. A guy's liver failed at work.
Oh shit!
So it's quite bad, and it's all due to drinking. So it's really made me sort of like have a little bit of a look at my own life. So I'm not drinking this episode, or in fact haven't for a few days now. So yeah, it's.
Oh wow! I haven't got a drink in front of me, but I have drunk a few beers the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's all right. It's not a problem. But yeah, it's made me take a step back and think just like maybe you shouldn't drink every day for 7 years straight. Like maybe you shouldn't do that. So yeah, but yeah, no, I'm good, man. I'm good.
But it's not like you're hiding bottles of vodka and gin around the place and drinking it, is
It's
it?
a small flat,
it's not like you're
it's a small flat.
It's not like you're sitting there necking fucking straights, fucking shorts every night.
No, it's true, but at the same time as well, there really hasn't been much of a day off from alcohol consumption in the last 10 years of my life. So it's
Yeah.
But no, it's all good, man. Yeah, we're good. Becca's good. This was so the other night. It's been quite warm recently. In bed,
Up and down,
night,
yes.
Yeah.
Better.
Not like
in
that.
bed. Yeah.
But I was in bed with Becca the other night. We were going to bed, and she was just suddenly said like, "Oh God, I'm really warm. I feel really, really hot like all the time." Blah 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 blah. And the first thing that went through my head was just like, "Oh, that sounds like the menopause," but I can't say that. Like you can't just say to a woman, "Oh, you're having the menopause," because that's going to get you in trouble. So for a brief moment, I sort of thought about it. It's like, how do I approach saying this? And I came to the conclusion that the best way to do it was with an accent.
Brilliant.
So I turned to her and said, "Is it the menopause there?" in an Irish accent, and she immediately responded by going, "Did you put on an accent just so you could ask if I was on the menopause?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." So that's if I ever say anything to you in an accent, it's probably because I'm uncomfortable saying it, and this is my way of like just easing into it. I thought an accent would be the way to go, and it wasn't. It was saw right through it, saw right through me.
Good thing you're not a doctor. You got 2 months to live there.
Yeah. Oh no, I'll choose a better. I'll probably go with, I don't know. I mean, my top 3 are Australian, Scottish, and Irish. So those are the ones I've got to really choose from.
I feel like somebody sent me a geese drop with instructions that you have to read it in an accent.
Depends on the accent, mate. I'm limited.
It does. I think it. Oh yeah, yeah. No, it was Marin. Yeah, because I've got in my notes. I've got a copy of the Geese drop, but then I've got underneath it. See notes in message.
I like that. I like when our Geese drops have instructions.
Yeah.
But yeah, how are you, sir?
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm off today. Obviously, it's middle of the day we're recording. It's quite early. It's one of those days where it's fairly warm, but also overcast. Yeah. Little bright bursts of sun.
This is as good as the
not that anyone
getting.
asked for a weather update when it doesn't matter when you listen to a podcast at any other time.
Yeah.
But that's what's happened. Just setting the scene. Other than that, no, I've been okay. Not much going on. I obviously went to the wedding last weekend.
Yes.
Was it the weekend before? Was it last weekend? God, was it last weekend? It seems so far,
yes,
so long ago.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course. Actually, because what day is it today?
Thursday.
Wednesday.
No, Wednesday. Fuck.
Wednesday. So it wasn't the Saturday just gone. The Saturday before I was at the wedding, right? Yeah, it was good. So it was Johan and Jess's wedding. Obviously, the one I went on the stag for. I was staying at a Premier Inn in Sevenoaks. And it was, we got there. I was really stressing out about not being able to check into the hotel, but actually it was fine. We managed to check in nice and early.
Oh, excellent.
And then get us. Nice. Yeah, so that was good. So funny. We got in, checked in. We had about 45 minutes till the cab was coming to get us. Lee and his missus were in their room down the hallway. I was in my own room. And I got in the room and I was like, well, it's not going to take me 45 minutes to get ready. I'm already showered and stuff because I half expected to be changing in a toilet somewhere, unable to check into the hotel room too early.
It's a bit hangover.
After they told us they weren't sure whether we could do it or not until we showed up. So I was like, well, it's not going to take that long to get ready. So I went into town. Well, I say went into town. I walked down to the corner shop near the hotel, bought a Scotch egg, packet of cheddars, 2 beers, came back to the room. And wrote that in the stag WhatsApp group. I just bought a couple of beers and a Scotch egg, so I'm in business today.
It wasn't even the beers that said it; it was the Scotch egg.
Yeah. Had those. Came out. I was like, I ordered a couple of beers. Fucking chatting away to the cabbie. Gave him a tenner tip because I was feeling flush for no reason.
Yeah, you were. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I kept saying, no, man, you've earned it. You've given us loads of information about the history of this dairy farm we're going to. Here you go.
Earned it.
So yeah, the wedding it was on a working dairy farm in Kent, which actually wasn't that far away. Sevenoaks was about half an hour down the M25 from me, so it wasn't even that much of a journey to get there.
No.
But it was in a place called Boar Farm, and it was really nice. It was quite an outdoorsy wedding. They had a little festival tent with old school games set up.
Oh, that's cool.
It was just barrels of just booze everywhere. It was all free booze.
Damn.
There wasn't a paying bar.
Damn.
But there was a bar you could go to where you still had to pay, but they would fill you up with prosecco or wine.
Yeah. The stuff that
one
needed
outside,
pouring, and
then one in the barn for the party. But other than that, it was just barrels of booze everywhere you went. Just ice with just IPAs, beers, ciders, non-alcoholic beers for people that obviously weren't getting on it. It was just everywhere. You kind of weren't without a drink.
Nice.
So yeah, I pretty much got on there, had a couple of prosecco straight away. I think I had a wine. Then I switched to the IPAs, and I just got quite
wedding drunk. You got wedding drunk.
Yeah, I got but not even too out of control. But at the end of the night, I was dancing my fucking ass off.
Yeah, of course you were.
To the band. We found a playground at one point. So I snuck off there me and Lee snuck off to go down the slide a couple of times.
Just a couple. Only a couple of times.
Yeah. Only a couple of times.
I love it.
It was weird though. I definitely
wasn't
felt
even just went off to the playground to do lines. Just go down the slide.
No lines. No. It was the first wedding I've gone to since being on my own. That was a bit weird. It was weird not being with someone. And I definitely felt it at points, talking to people. So because people mention my wedding to be I haven't seen you since Greg's wedding, or talk about things that happened at my wedding. So then people would be oh, so where's your wife? And I'd be oh, no, we separated. And I'm oh, okay. And one person was oh, I had a feeling that was the case because you're wearing a pink tie and a pink watch. And I was I'm also wearing pink socks, but what's that mean? Oh, that's this colour for newly single. I was is it? I was I didn't know that. Subconsciously, then I've been buying quite a lot of that dusty pink colour and throwing it into my wardrobe of late.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
There you go. No, advertising it without even realising, Greg.
But I was pretty much like the only like sort of single person there that weekend, so it was fun. I still had a lot of fun. I still latched onto a lot of cool people I hadn't seen for ages, and just had a good time getting drunk and enjoying the whole day. Nothing really out of control happened.
I mean, it's you know, 40,
there was
40
some
years
very
old, you
drunk
don't really want it to be out of
there
control.
there was one proper drunk guy who like came up to me at one point and like grabbed my arm and tried to drag me on the dance floor, but a bit too early. I wasn't ready yet. In fact, it was only him on there. But he was really pissed, and I was like, no, I didn't know he was. No, I'm all right, mate. He's like, come on. To the point, like, my shoes were, like, sliding. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't like this. I did manage to break free. Later on, once I'd been having some whiskey from a hip flask, then I was ready. Then I was on there.
Well, that's it. There you go. That's how you do it.
Singing and dancing like a maniac all night. But yeah, really good night. And then, yeah, fucking next morning, fucking car park ticket on my fucking car. I was just like, oh man, we'd paid for 24 hours. I had to fucking. There was a man there, parking attendant. What the fucking called?
Yeah, I guess so.
Ticket inspector.
Parking.
There was a guy there. There was one of them there, and I was like, mate, I've paid for this. But he's like, oh, I didn't give it to you. I can't really help you. So I was like, well, look. I showed him proof I'd paid. And he's like, oh, you're just gonna have to email them. So I had to go through that. Yeah. In the end, they kind of apologised and well, they didn't apologise. They cancelled it because they weren't meant to give me one. But did kind of make it sound like they were doing me a massive favour. I
was just like, no, like, you're doing. You've made a mistake. Is what you've done. Is correct it.
But it was a good moment of me waking up Sunday morning in the hotel room and just being like, oh, I don't feel hungover.
Yeah.
Going downstairs, having breakfast, and I was like, oh, I'll just drive home early. So I drove home early. Did miss a couple of turnings, and I was like, oh, maybe I think I'm okay. Got home, and then my hangover then started kicking in.
Oh, great.
And I was like, I'm
so
no, I don't think I was still drunk, but I was like, I'm so glad I got up and drove home.
No, fair dues, man. Fair dues. Fuck it, the best way to be. You don't want to be like driving. You're waking up with a hangover would be bad enough, let alone fucking like driving it halfway fucking kicking.
I know I sent this to you, but I'm going to read it out here. So they didn't do like. Which is good. They didn't do like wedding favours and stuff. They kind of had your name card, and we didn't even notice at first. But then when you open up your name card, they'd done like an individual poem for like every guest.
That must have been knackering.
I did hear from the father of the bride that there was a spreadsheet with everyone's like names and like interests and stuff like, to help
Right.
But this one was obviously deep cut because they obviously mention the Star Wars book.
Mm-hmm.
Even mention my old like graffiti name, the Furian, which is like my default name, it's like my email address, just the name I made up years ago and always use for stuff. So I'm going to read out my little poem because I thought it was very nice. Away on the stag, a weekend of lads and liquor. Friendships rarer than a 77 Kenner action figure. The party train arrives when the Furion is near. Thanks for celebrating our day. We're glad you're here.
That's very nice. That's very nice.
It is nice, isn't it?
Slightly concerning.
But I saw some...
those first two lines were slightly concerning because they, could easily just have rhymed the N word in there, but it just wouldn't have been appropriate.
Yeah. No, they didn't do it. No, that wouldn't make sense either.
I always get like.
But I read other people's, and it was very interesting. It was very sweet.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's a. To be fair, I've never really sort of seen anything like that at the weddings I've been to. So that's a lot of time and a lot of effort for 150 fucking people. Like,
yeah, I don't think it was. I don't know how many people there was, but yeah, it wasn't like a massive wedding, but it wasn't a small wedding either.
Yeah.
But there was, and there weren't. I don't think any guests arrived.
Mid-range wedding.
And I don't think. And I'm fairly sure, I don't think any evening guests came. I think it was just everyone was just there for the day.
Yeah.
So everyone, so I think Jess did all the poems. And then she did like a little speech and was like, Johan's upset he hasn't got one, but he has got one. And then she read hers out for him.
Oh, that's nice.
Very emotional.
That's good.
Very moving. There were lots of tears, So someone did tell me during that time, then near me on the table, that I was doing good. You're doing well. I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah. I didn't realise there was a possibility that I wasn't doing well, but thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay.
You're doing well.
You're doing well. Okay, thanks.
Life?
I mean, I'm not. I'm polishing off this red wine.
Yeah. Like, there's no tomorrow. Our red wine wedding wine is the best.
There was a great point when it's like, right, the live band, set up and stuff. So can we all move our way to the barn? if you've got wine, bring it with you. So it was pretty cool just walking through this farm with a glass in one and a bottle in the other. Just
Yeah,
like,
fucking right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pouring it in, taking a swig. Take me to the live music, please. I'm ready.
I remember being at Karina's brother's wedding, and I was obviously I was her like +1, and she was a bridesmaid, but she was on like a table with all the fucking people that I knew from her family. So like the cousins her cousins that I knew from previous parties and stuff like that. And then when they cleared out all the tables to then create it into like a dance floor and that, we had to clear the tables, and I went outside for a cigarette, and one of the guys came out with like 3 bottles of red. Actually, no, it was her cousin Grace, who I went to school with. She came out with like 2 red bottles and a white bottle, and she was just there with them, just like, who wants these? And it was great. We're all just like literally just self-pouring. And something about wedding wine, man. It's good. I'm not not usually a big wine drinker, but I like it.
Because you kept freezing on my computer, I actually missed about 80% of that story, but I did pick up the general gist of it.
I'll keep my talking brief this episode.
No. It's fine. I do kind of remember you saying it before. I was like, I know what he's saying here. It's like I was starting to understand the new language in between that.
Yeah.
Free pouring at weddings. I'm like, I'm getting the highlight.
I can put together what he's saying from these 3 sentences.
This means nothing to the listeners, but yeah. So that was me last weekend. I don't think I've done anything of interest since then that I can recall. Nope, it's all been pretty mundane, to be honest with you. Oh, I tell you what I did do. Not that it's much of an exciting podcast talk, but I haven't watched Walking Dead since I think the series that followed Negan's arrival.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you remember the big episode where he kills Glenn and stuff? After that, I didn't. I think the next series, I watched a couple episodes and just stopped because I thought it was fucking shite.
I clocked out when it was like the one after Negan arrived was like basically the big battle between Negan.
Same here. And Rick. Pretty same here.
I watched it up to there, and then I was just like, I'm done here.
Yeah, same here. So I did come back and watch Rick's last episode. Whenever that was, 8-9 years ago, whatever that was now.
Fucking right.
So I came back and I watched Rick's last episode, and then randomly the other day, because I was bored as shit, I did actually watch that new series with Rick and Michonne.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I watched it. It was only 6 episodes. I watched that. It was. I didn't feel like I'd missed out on not watching Walking Dead for the last X amount of years by watching it.
Yeah.
But I was like, Rick's back. Let's see what's going on. It was alright. Some pretty gory and pretty nasty deaths in it, and some pretty gory moments. Like even I was like, and I remember Walking Dead was gory, but there was a few moments in there where I was a bit like, fucking hell, I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was alright. It wasn't. It's not The Walking Dead, which I guess is a good thing, but it's a very different story. It was alright though. It wasn't amazing, but I watched it anyway.
Yeah.
There's my review of The Ones Who Live, I think it's called. I was just interested to kind of see what they were going to do with Rick's story. That was all. Because by the end of it, he just like.
I was going to say I'm looking forward to the 3rd season of The Bear comes this month.
Oh yeah, me too. That's coming, isn't it?
I will be absolutely cancelling my Disney subscription after that because there's fuck all on there else I want to watch. But as soon as that's done,
I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm looking forward to The Bear. I've started season 4 of The Boyz. There was a scene in it. Spoilers for episode 2. Not a plot scene for The Boyz, but a pretty crazy scene. There's a guy who make multiple copies of himself. Like he splits into 2, then splits into 2 again, and eventually there's 7 or 8 of them.
It's like Michael Keaton in Multiplicity.
Yeah. A guy walks into a room and catches this guy naked jerking off with a copy of him behind him eating out his arsehole. And then behind that, another version of himself eating out his arsehole and jerking off the one in front. And it basically is 8 or 9 of them curling around this room, all eating each other's arseholes and sucking each other's dicks in a fucking line while the guy in front's jerking off. Later on, when they're fighting the other characters, one of them notices they've all got pink eye. He's just like, what have you been doing? You've been each other's out.
That's good.
But yeah, pretty fucking. I was like, fucking hell, this scene's oh my god, there's so much to see. I don't want to see.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was pretty full on. So apparently it's caused a lot of issues, but people always complain about shit like that.
Yeah, fucking.
It was awesome. You know what you're getting into when you watch that show.
They complained about that dick scene from season 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but it was good, man. It was pretty fucked up, man. They always managed to up it every fucking time and still managed to find a way to make me be like, Jesus Christ, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't believe they've got a way of putting this in. This is insane.
Can't believe I'm wanking into this.
I can't believe I'm wanking. But it did make me think. I was like, God, if I could make multiple copies of myself, like when it's happening, you know, I see it in a lot of shows, a lot of films. I was like, I've never really thought about, in general, superheroes in general, how they could use their abilities to self-pleasure, to wank.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never really thought about it. And I'm like, God, I wonder many of them could. Fucking hell.
I mean,
just like using their psychic abilities to have like multiple fucking dildos in them, or fucking.
I was gonna say, I mean, if I had the opportunity to multiply myself, I'm not thinking about a self orgy.
Yes.
not where my head would go.
Straight to a self orgy.
Yeah, I don't know. I
suppose it would just be.
It's like Wolverine. What's Wolverine gonna do?
Just put dildos on his spikes and open.
I was going to say, just one of the claws, just right down his dick hole.
Yeah, he self heals, so he could be shoving anything into himself if he really wanted to. Oh, that was a twist. So that's where we're at. So we should go into a bit of Geezedropping.
Go on in.
Where we hear snippets of overheard conversation heard by you or us, read about context. What have you heard? What did you hear? What did you hear? Having a listen. Right, I've got none that I heard this time, but I've got a few sent in.
Yeah, I've not been hearing stuff recently, you know.
No, I've kind of not been out and about as much, but I have got some sent in. I'm going to start with. Actually, let's start with. Owen sent me an audio message.
Okay.
I always like it when Owen sends audio ones. Okay. Right, here we go.
Wedding geese shop. Why does farting hurt? Just stings the ring. I suppose the hemorrhoids don't help.
That is exactly the reason why it hurts.
Yep, the hemorrhoids do not help. That's why farting hurts. He sent me that when I was at the wedding as well.
Yeah.
Not the same wedding.
Not the same.
But I was
wedding.
also at a wedding, but I didn't hear such conversation. But then again, I got to that point where I was quite loud and drunk myself.
People are just geese dropping you left, right, and centre.
I'll do Sam's and we'll throw it over to you, and then
Right.
I'll finish up with Fran and Marin's. Right, so Sam sent, Woman 1, what are you doing tomorrow? Woman 2, tomorrow, I'm flicking my bean to Bridgerton.
Alright, fair.
This, another one from Sam, I'm so drunk right now, I'd probably let you come on my face. I think he heard that at the Foo Fighter gig.
Yeah. See, the probably though is what I have an issue with on that.
Yeah, the probably.
I might
slight
not,
tease.
but I might. But then, so when he goes to collect on that, she's just gonna be like, "No, I was just drunk. What are you talking about? That'd be disappointing."
Slight tease.
I'd probably let you come on my face.
I'll probably let you.
Probably.
Shout outs to Sam, by the way. Before I play, he sent an audio one, which I'll play in a minute. But Sam sent me a nice surprise this week. He actually sent me a watch.
Oh wow!
He sent me a watch.
God damn.
Yeah, and it's one of the Tate Gallery ones.
Oh,
really
look
cool.
at that!
Yeah, I've been being a bit of a tart recently with my watches, and I've been buying the Casio watch in all different colours, the same watch in different colours, because that's the kind of tart I've turned into recently. Hence, I had a pink one to match a light pink one to match my tie at the wedding.
You're doing a lot of colour coordination at the moment, is it?
Yeah. If I can throw in a watch and trainer match or something like that. But yeah, I'm just throwing in different colours. I've got
Fair.
about 4 or 5 of them now. I've got a bright orange one, a cool yellow one. But anyway, Sam he posted a picture of these in our WhatsApp group quite a while ago, and I was like, wow, this one's really cool, and forgot all about it. And yeah, he got me one to send it to me, which is very nice of him.
That is really nice.
Nice.
Shout out Sam.
When you turn it this way, the box looks like a pregnancy kit, but it's not. It's just breaking down the name of. For those want to know, you want to look it up. It's by Swatch. It's a Tate Gallery watch, and it's got the painting "Women and the Bird in the Moonlight" on it. Really cool watch. I like that a lot. So yeah, Sam sent this audio in. So thanks, Sam. Big shouts. Here we go.
Get the whole story, which is definitely.
Oh, let me start again. My volume is really low.
Well, I didn't get the whole story, which is definitely a slag.
I didn't get the full story, but she's definitely a slag.
With an accent as well.
with an act. Sounds like a troll living under the bridge or something.
It was Welsh, Greg. That's what it was. It was. It
Yeah,
was,
but
it was
just-
Welsh.
but it was like the whisper he was doing for it as well.
But she's definitely a slag.
I am also going to send you Maren's Geezedrop,
Okay.
Joe.
Yep.
And she gave instructions that it should. Is that the same one? That it should be in a Yorkshire accent.
Oh fuck. Regional. I don't know.
Well, it's be better than me trying.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
You have to do it right away. You can do the other ones first, but there we go. That's Maren sent to you.
All right.
Actually, I might as well quickly do. I've only got the last one left from Fran. Let me just do Fran's one quickly.
Yeah, crack on.
Fran heard. You wish I was saying your name like that. She also did send me a couple more. What song would you kill yourself to? I don't know. I don't want to think about that one.
Oh, what would I don't know.
EastEnders theme tune.
No, I'd never really contemplated that my suicide needed a soundtrack. In all honesty, so
Exactly. Yeah.
who's that for? The music, like, who's that? Like, that's not for me. Why do I
The Raggy Dolls theme.
Yeah. Wannabe by the Spice Girls.
He moves like he moves like he should be a spider. I've seen people like that. I've seen people
I do.
like that,
Yeah.
like they should be a
Strangely
spider.
enough, I know exactly what they mean.
Yeah, I've seen it. Right, so those are mine all done.
Okay, well, I've got this one here from Maren, which is from a cubicle, it says. Does anyone have any toilet roll? Silence. 30 seconds later. Anyone?
So Maren must have been there to hear that.
Yeah, that's a valid
Wait 30
point.
seconds.
Yeah, valid
Wait
point.
30 seconds.
Yeah, come on,
No,
Maren.
sorry.
Karen.
I'm on my way out.
Come on, Maren, why aren't you giving out the bog roll? Oh,
Roll it down the other cubicles. Here we go.
Yeah, too far away.
I
That's too
definitely,
far away.
and I know I've told this story multiple times in this podcast, but it does remind me of the time when I was in the Old King's Head pub over the bridge. I don't even think it's open anymore. Years ago, but it definitely changed hands several times. Since this time.
yeah.
And I went into the toilet there, and it was like a really quiet midweek night. And I remember walking into the toilet, and you had those lights that turn on when you walk in. And I walked in, and the lights turned on. And I just had a guy from the cubicle go, "Thank God!" I was like, "You're right, mate. I am now. Thank you."
Been in there for 8 minutes in the dark.
Just like, "Hello, I can't find anything."
Anyway,
Right, you hit your geese drops.
I got these from the top shagger himself. Luke sent these in to me.
Hey.
The first one here it just says, "I'm northern. I'm not stupid, mate." And then the second one, it just says here, a 12-year-old and his older mate. She's got to have some tits. She's got
Somewhere.
She's got you, Greg.
Check her purse. Check her purse.
They've just mugged her, and they're just saying, "What about the ankles? Have you had a look at the ankles?" Oh dear. Yeah, I like that was all good. Thank you everyone once again.
Thank you,
for,
everyone.
keeping the segment that is Geezedropping alive.
Keeping it going. I was trying to explain to someone the other day who asked what our podcast was about, and I'm like, just it
Bullshit.
changes a lot, but it
Just
kind of doesn't,
fucking-
just everything and nothing, blah 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 blah. And I was like, we do some segments, and I was like, and I'm like, it's just overheard stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, people send them in. I'm like, yeah, it's just we just listen to people, not full conversations, just snippets.
A snippet,
and then they're like,
literally
oh,
like
okay.
a sentence,
Just-
like an out of context
Yeah,
sentence
yeah.
is all it is.
Yeah, just when you walk past and hear something, just write it down and send it in, and that's it. Yeah, we read them out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we expand on them, sometimes we just move on.
It's very popular. It's very, very popular.
Yeah, it's the only segment that hasn't disappeared.
I was going to say, it's our longest serving segment. Did you also explain, I'm assuming you didn't explain wankety wank to them.
I went to and was like, actually, let's just move on.
We also do a segment called, well, actually, never worry about it.
Anyway. So yeah, I've had a bit of, even though I said I haven't got much to report from this week, I have been a bit manic just like with work and life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't done a huge amount of preparation for this episode, but I did find a list of stories. I'm not going to do all of them. And it's not necessarily like paranormal and spooky, but it is just a list of strange things that have happened to people. And we often talk about strange things that happen to us. God knows, I've got quite a few myself.
Peculiar things do arise.
Yeah, some of them
Oh!
I can totally relate to as well. What happened?
Sorry, yeah, it looked like I stubbed my toe there.
What?
But I did. No, I.
Oh,
I,
you stubbed your toe.
No,
Oh,
we
right.
actually
I thought you
there
remembered
was
something.
we got woken up the other morning at 4:30 in the fucking morning. Someone like dinging our doorbell.
Oh shit!
And so like Becca got up and answered it, and the person just went delivery, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like it's fucking 4:30 in the morning." And then 10 minutes later, an ambulance turned up, which was apparently also for our building. Someone was downstairs, like frantic, because she couldn't get hold of her friend, so she called a fucking ambulance, and they were here. Literally the kid that fucking got out the amp, like driving it, looked like the kid from Love Actually. It looked exactly like same height, same build, looked 12 years old.
So was the guy saying delivery related to the ambulance situation?
I think she was trying to get into the building so that she could go and knock on her friend's house. It's just like, it's 4:30 in the fucking morning, dude. Like,
yeah, she just said, I need to check on my friend.
Yeah,
rather than ambulance.
Yeah, what are you fucking talking
rather
about?
than delivery.
It was so weird.
Come on in.
It was so bizarre.
That is
weirdest
weird.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a weird story.
Peculiar.
So some of these I can totally relate to, 100%. And some of them are very... And so I'm not going to read all the ones out I relate to, because some of them are just like, oh, I was thinking about this person, then a few days later I heard from them, or I was thinking about this thing, and it happened.
Yeah.
Because those things do happen a lot, and some of them are quite explainable on a subconscious level. But again, these aren't bizarre, paranormal, unexplained ones. They're just bizarre things people have happened. And it's been a while since we've done something random like this, so let's have a little look.
I'm down.
I'm going to start with... Now, this one seems mundane, but I can totally relate to this one. This is the missing belt. Now, this is this list is on BuzzFeed, made out of answers to what is your strangest story asked on Reddit. Which most content is nowadays, right? It's like past the recycled Reddit answers.
Basically Reddit is the great thing about Reddit is everyone just tells stories for free, and then it can be used as content. Like, we've done it.
Yeah.
The amount I did
but
that
we're
whole
recycling BuzzFeed's version of them recycling
all
that.
the university stories. I got them from fucking Reddit. Like,
yeah. So here we go. The missing belt. I was once changing pants in my room before work, and I took off my belt. After putting on another pair of pants, I went to put my belt back on, but the belt was gone. No one else was in the room, and I spent a good 10 minutes looking for it. I simply set it on the floor. It's been 10 years, and I've never seen that belt again.
What the fuck? That is weird. How many belts do you own, Greg? Because I'm like a one belt man. I have
one belt that I've pretty much used since. I must have had it. I can't even tell you how long I've had this belt. I don't know whether I bought it while I was still working at Natterjack's or whether I bought it not long after. But I know it came from Natterjack's.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the last time I ever walked into Natterjack's and purchased something. Natterjack's is a shop I used to work in. But it's a leather Carhartt one that I've had for absolute years, and that's all I wear. I do have another 2 belts that I only wear with suits that are hanging up with the suit bags and stuff like that. So, I wouldn't wear the Carhartt one with my suit to a wedding. Heaven forbid.
Heaven forbid.
But with this missing belt one, I can relate to this, and Rob, if he's listening, will remember this, because we bring this story up quite often. We'd been to Kingston or somewhere, and I'd bought the Lit album, Place in the Sun.
Yep.
Fucking awesome album. We got back to my house, and I remember we were in my bedroom, stood by my CD player. I opened the case, and my room wasn't messy or anything. It was quite a wide open space on the floor. The bed was next to me, and the wardrobe was open. That was it. And I took the CD out, put it in my CD player, and I dropped the case, and it hit my foot and bounced off. And I was like, I'll grab that in a minute. Put the CD player in, bent down, couldn't find the album cover. Never found it ever again.
What, the whole CD case or just the album cover?
The entire CD case.
Okay.
Never found it again.
That's fucking weird.
Like it wasn't under my bed. Nothing was under my bed. Wasn't there. Nothing was under my wardrobe. Wasn't there. And there was no. Literally, even when we ripped the bedroom out, like 10 years later, it never showed up.
What the fuck? That's so weird.
Just gone. It was never found it ever again. I mean, I'm still talking about it now because we all both stood there. It just fell, hit my foot, and disappeared.
That's
into
so
time
bizarre.
and space, and was never seen ever again.
That's so bizarre.
It really there would be nights where I'd be at home and I'd think about that, and I'd be like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, of course it doesn't.
I'd like destroy my room trying to find it again. But it's not like I waited hours or days so it could be moved or picked up.
No.
It was literally like 30 seconds, put the CD in, then bent down to pick the case up, and it was gone.
That's fucking weird, man. That's like some
weird.
Horrible gremlin fucking shit that just steals CD cases. That is so
weird.
weird. That is bizarre.
That is weird. That is bizarre, that one. Okay, this one we've got here, a bit more of a spooky one. Okay, let's go for a little spooky one. The pink room peril. So this still baffles me. But when I was a kid, we moved into a new house. And while the retailer was showing us round, I saw a lady sitting at a white dresser in a pink room. She even waved at me. When I asked my mum who it was, she just brushed me off because she was trying to listen to the retailer. The weirdest part of this was that once we moved in, we found out there were no rooms painted pink in the house. My family brushed the whole thing off despite me being adamant of what I saw. Anyway, fast forward a few years, I'm in high school at this point, and we start renovating the house. While stripping the wallpaper in the master bedroom, we found out it was painted pink.
Ooh.
This still low-key freaks me out.
Ooh. That is interesting. That does,
Yeah.
that perks my interest. That is
That
weird.
also
That
kind
weird.
of like is a good example of how I perceive the concept of ghosts.
Yeah.
Is like that kind of looking up,
a moment
seeing,
in time.
seeing a moment, yeah, like a moment in time. But it is bizarre that she waved at her, but that could have been a moment relived where she's waving at her own daughter. Maybe that's what brought forth the manifestation.
That's so
Even
bizarre.
that's if I was to give a paranormal sort of answer to how
Insight.
I perceive it. Insight, but it also could all be bollocks. But who knows? But there you go.
Oh,
That
that
would
is
be
peculiar.
If I was
That
trying
is
to
peculiar.
explain that without accusing them of just making it up, that's kind of how I'd probably
It's
go
too
about
like
it.
how would they know? How would that person know? Like though, if there's like
Yeah.
pink, like the pink, like that's and it's quite specific. Like how would they know?
For that room as well, that specific
Yeah,
room
that's
too.
weird. That is weird.
This one's called the Jump Back.
Okay.
When I was 12 years old, I went up to Lake Tahoe with my friends and his parents, who had a condo in Incline Village. One day, the two of us were walking to the bowling alley and had to cross the road at the crosswalk. Such an American story.
Yeah.
Right after we stepped off the curb, a car came really close to hitting us. All of a sudden, we were both up on the curb. We were lifted a few feet. We both looked at each other strangely. Did you jump? No. Did you? No. We spent the next hour dumbfounded. It didn't feel like a shove or any force. We were in the street, then we weren't.
That is weird. That's
Yeah, that is bizarre.
that's some Bernard's watch shit where someone just stopped time.
Yeah,
and put them back, like-
reset,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
The car actually hit them, but had like a rewind 15 seconds.
And the fucking time stone.
crystal in his fucking glove box. I can only use this once, and I've been waiting for this moment. Just one of the two kids.
This
Now's the
mundane
time.
moment.
Rewind. Runs out and moves them back.
Yeah, someone found it and just
Yeah.
like, you'll know when to use this. And it was that moment.
Ah, okay. This one is the non-existent memory. I don't think I did have a skim through a lot of these before to see which ones I'll skip and which ones I'll read, but I don't recall seeing this one. I'm intrigued by the title. I have a vivid memory of being at the Statue of Liberty as a child on my dad's shoulders, seeing the skyline of New York City. I remember the ferry we took. I remember what we ate for lunch that day. I've always talked about it. My family denies we ever went to New York City. I didn't go for the first time till I was 23, but strangely enough, when I went, I remembered everything just how it had been when I was there with my dad.
That's so weird.
Ooh,
That's like,
yeah.
that is bizarre.
Yeah. But that also, again, no, that could also be like seeing
Bullshit.
a film or something very young as well, and like confusing it. Like, I haven't really got an example to hand, but I've had experiences like that where I've remembered something being a certain way, and then it's come to light that it either didn't happen or wasn't
Yeah.
that way, and I'm just completely thinking
You've
about
just,
a story someone told me as a kid, or watching a film or a TV program as a kid that's like embedded itself in my mind somehow,
Yeah.
and over years it's just become my memory. Like,
Yeah, no, I get that. It's I think that's quite a common sort of thing. You kind of sort of think about it so much that you think it, or you think about elements of it so much that you make it true, but it's not how it happened. Like, yeah, I get that. How bizarre. How bizarre.
this is a little random one. When I was in primary school, there was all these cups in the cafeteria, which were filled with milk every lunch. Red cup, green cup, blue, but only one yellow cup. Everyone would fight over who would get the yellow cup like it was a holy grail. It had been that way, but it had been that way for years. One night I had a dream that the cafeteria had got more yellow cups. And the next morning, lo and behold, there were hundreds of yellow cups.
Hundreds.
You brought them forward. Good work. You
dreamed
brought them
them.
forward. You manifested them.
I
But
was gonna
again,
say, yeah,
that could
dreamed
also
them
be
into
that could
reality.
also be explained as could have subconsciously heard a cafeteria staff member comment on the fact, oh, we're getting more yellow cups delivered later today. Like, and not realise, things like that. And that shit embeds into your fucking psyche and then manifests in your dream state later that night.
Or they're just
Like,
sick.
that stuff
They were just sick of the
We've all
fights
had it,
over the
like-
yellow cup.
You can be walking down the street and look at someone and not really look at them, but acknowledge there's a person there and
Yeah.
not think anything of it. And then that night they could appear in your dream in quite a big way. Like,
There's
oh, who's that person in my dream? Oh, I passed them in the street for a second and didn't think anything of them, or things like that. Like, so bizarre.
so weird, isn't it?
The way the mind works. Oh, here we go. Oh God, what happened there? This shared demon. Oh, I like a sleep paralysis story.
Oh, fuck
I
yeah.
had a sleep paralysis nightmare when I was a kid. I saw a red-eyed dark figure standing in the doorway. It always stuck with me, and I've called him the boogeyman ever since. One day I was browsing Reddit, and somebody painted a picture of their sleep paralysis demon, and it was like the guy had painted my exact dream, and a bunch of other people commented that they had seen the same creature. It always makes me very uneasy to think about. Ooh.
Yeah, that is. I mean, there's. I think
But a lot of the time, it is just a shadowy figure with glowing eyes, right? Whether they're
Yeah.
glowy blue eyes,
that's
glowing
what I've
red
seen.
eyes.
Yeah, that's what.
So it probably is quite easy too, because that's also kind of a pre-established expectation for sleep paralysis, right? You think that's what you're going to see, something like that,
Yep.
because that's what you've been seeing everywhere else.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a sense of like you've seen something or you've researched it and you kind of sort of like you're almost telling yourself that that's what you've seen. Like, but it's not always the case. But I mean, I've never had any kind of interaction with a sleep paralysis demon or anything at all.
No,
I don't sleep
no,
enough. I don't sleep enough to fucking.
I did as a kid have one when it wasn't like a demon. I was really sick, really bad fever. I remember I woke up and I could not move. I just couldn't move. I couldn't move off my bed. It was like someone was holding my shoulders down. And I remember I kind of looked my head up, and at the foot of the bed was like a TV camera set up filming me. And slowly just more crew kind of started appearing around the bed. And basically they were filming an episode of Buffy the Vampire, I think. And,
Right.
and I couldn't do anything about it. They were just filming it around me in my room. Like, I feel like Ant and Dec might have showed up at one point and started shaking the bed, and I was like trying to get him to stop. I eventually did snap out of it, and I was told by I think my mum that I was heard like talking in my sleep quite a bit, like they could hear me like shouting "stop it" or whatever. Like
Yeah.
But I think it was they were filming. So no sleep paralysis demon, just they were filming an episode of Buffy around me, and then I think Ant and Dec started bouncing on my bed, and I was telling them to stop.
Scamps, the absolute
But I couldn't do
scamps.
anything about it.
The absolute
Much as I
scamps
tried.
that are Ant and Dec. I've had scenarios where I've woke up not like and I can't breathe. I can't like take a breath. I've had moments like
Right,
that,
yeah,
which
it's
are
not nice.
fucking scary. But it's really just like, or just trying to go to sleep and then I freak myself out that I can't breathe, and I have to like try and breathe. or, like, It's
If you stop and think about breathing or focus on your own breathing, it does complicate things, right?
absolutely, yeah. You're just like, well, now
you
I'm
start
just
focusing on
now
it.
I'm
It does
trying
complicate
to
things.
breathe. It's just
Yeah,
whereas it
am
should
I
just
breathing?
be a functioning.
Have I been
human
breathing the last 10
capability.
minutes? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. This is weird. I mean, I found when I had like tonsillitis how much I swallowed like on a daily basis. Like I started to realize like, oh wow, this is a lot. Like this is.
And tonsillitis is the Greek fellow you've been sucking off?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it is. It's the exact guy. Yeah. You know. Just, I love that you went with
Okay.
Greek does, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was like tonsillitis. I don't know.
No, it's an old.
For some reason,
he
I
was an
kept
old,
picturing Dr. Leg.
He was an old Roman emperor, actually.
Knew it. This is real world Carrie. Sounds interesting. When my daughter was little, whenever she would get upset, something in the kitchen would randomly break. It happened way too many times to be coincidental, and things that broke did so in inexplicable ways. I clearly remember one instant very early in the morning standing in the kitchen telling her she couldn't have cake from the night before. She immediately looked angry and had a weird plink, and I heard a weird plink sound from inside the cupboard. I opened it to find the plate on the top of the stack was cracked in several places.
What the fuck?
No signs of this in later years. She's 24 now, and I often allude to this and remind her boyfriend not to piss her off.
Holy shit. That's so, I mean, even just for like, like paranormal aside, that is strangely coincidental. That would just happen.
Yeah.
Like usually,
Yeah.
like a plate doesn't just break. It has to there has to be an
Yeah, yeah.
impact. Like
Especially like in a cupboard, like
Yeah.
and then at that moment.
that's fucking twisted. That is so
Yeah,
weird.
that's mad. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, you don't want your kid to have that power.
No, absolutely.
That but it doesn't sound like it became an issue. It sounds like, she didn't end up, destroying a school. Right, so I think
Yeah.
we're okay. I think
How
we're
weird.
okay.
Very weird.
The next one. This is called This Other Mother. Ooh, what could that be? When I was a kid, I slept with my bedroom door open because my cat liked to cuddle with me. Our hallway was just a round hallway, and I could see the bathroom door and my parents' bedroom door. I also slept with my lights on, but dimmed. One night I couldn't sleep for some reason. I called out for my mum, and I saw her standing near my doorway. Kind of turned away from me with her hand on her face. I knew it was her because she kept a big purple t-shirt on that night, because she slept on a big purple t-shirt that night. But she was completely still, static. Mind you, I was wide awake. When I called out to her, she doesn't move at all. Blink, she was gone. I started freaking out and calling out to her, and that's when I heard the door open and close, and my mum rushed to my aid. I think she either slept with me all night, or I stayed up all night watching TV to pacify myself. I started sleeping with my door closed after that, and don't look too carefully at the darkness.
Fuck. That is weird. That is peculiar.
Ooh, that is weird. Yeah. But again, that could also be a weird sleep moment where you're not entirely sure if you're awake or asleep.
Yeah.
Like I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
And we've just made some more books available with Red 5 Designs and to order. So I woke up and there were quite a few messages.
Mm-hmm.
Some somebody's not reading the email properly, being, I'm trying to order the book, but I can't. And then seeing a little while later, they've messaged going, oh, I've reread the email, it's not till tomorrow, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Or people asking me to kind of sneakily open up orders early for them now. And I'm like, it's 3 a.m, I'm in bed. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I've messaged you, and I don't really remember any of that. Like,
Yeah, but that's because you're like half
3.
asleep. Like,
Yeah, but I actually did get up, go to the toilet, came in the kitchen. I vaguely remember this. Came in the kitchen, rolled a little zoot, went in the garden, had that, came back in, put the TV back on. But it's all like a weird dream I had. It wasn't really till like you replied that I was like, oh shit, I did message Joe. I wasn't like I kept thinking I've got to reply to Joe. And then looked, and then you messaged, and I was like, oh, I did reply to Joe.
Yeah.
And then looking at these messages on Red 5 and being like, oh, I replied to like 3-4 people at 3 a.m. Jesus, Greg. Like, it all seemed fine. Didn't sound like I was talking gibberish.
Yeah.
But I didn't give him quite detailed answers about things. And I was like, I don't really remember doing this at all. So
That is
bizarre.
peculiar.
So
That
it's
is weird.
completely just gone from my memory. It's like the other night, I was like, I'm pretty tired. I can't remember which film I put on. I was like, I want to watch this. Maybe I'll give this a watch. Pull it on. And then days later, an advert for it came on, and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't remember. Did I watch that?" Like again, just couldn't remember. I was like, did I watch that? Did I? If I did, I must have fallen asleep. But I remember,
isn't it? Like,
but I don't remember starting to watch it. Like, gee, and then so I went to rewatch it and was like, I remember the first full hour of this, but I'd forgotten, and it had only been days. That's losing my mind probably. I think time's just blurring into one.
I saw a clip recently of a quite a popular podcast. It's called like the Basement Podcast or something like that.
Oh right, okay.
There's two guys, and one of them's a father, and he said that the other day he was looking after his kid, and the kid said to him, "I want the black daddy with the special tongue," and he's just like, "What the fuck?" Like what the fuck? Like, and he was just like, he said like he was gonna call his wife, but he instead waited for her to come home, and he did. Like, he approached her with it, just like, do you know what this? And she was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, she was like, no, I'd absolutely like wasn't cheating. He believed she wasn't cheating and stuff like that. But he did say my wife was a bit more evangelical, so she thought it was demons. But
okay.
Yeah, but like having your kids say, "I want the black daddy with the special tongue," was
man,
is a pretty
that freaked
special.
me out.
It's a pretty special sentence to fucking say.
Very specific sentence, yes.
Yeah, very specific.
Okay, I got this one here. This horrifying meow. I was at a friend's house and they were in the garage working on a dirt bike. The driveway was empty, and their parents had left a while ago. I went inside to grab a soda, but decided to look for his cat, who I hadn't seen all day. I walked into the office, and as I called the cat's name, a man's deep voice said, "Meow," right into my right ear. I jumped and ran around the main floor looking who said it. I didn't find anyone.
That's fucked, dude. That is fucked.
That's scary.
That's like that reminds me of like Ghostbusters 2 when they're down in the fucking when they're going down the train line and Winston's just
all
like,
the whispering.
Winston.
Yeah, very much so. I have quite a similar story to this, which happened a couple of days ago actually. I'd gotten from work. I was in my wardrobe in my bedroom, and I was taking my uniform off and getting out my fucking loungewear and stuff. I was basically getting changed. I think I was mumbling to myself. I was ranting about something to myself. That's what happens when you live on your own. You've got no one to talk to. You kind of rant to yourself. But I didn't realise I was being audible though. And if I was, it was very quiet.
Yeah.
So
I did my ranting in my head when I lived on my own.
Yeah. I thought I was, but I must have been audibly whispering a little bit. So I'm doing this, and then all of a sudden I hear this voice go, "I can hear you whispering."
Fuck off.
I fucking freeze because I'm alone in the house, and I fucking freeze. And I'm listening, and after a second I hear, "I can whisper too, Greg."
Oh,
and I'm
for fuck's sake.
And I'm like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," and I'm slowly turning round. Really slowly. And I'm looking,
exactly
and I'm like,
what it is.
And there's nothing there. And I'm like, and then the echo's like, you can enable whisperer skill. And I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, it's never done that before. It's never, ever. It's never done that before, ever. And I was telling Indiana about it, and she was pissing herself because Indiana wasn't home. Next time she was over, I was telling her about it, and she was pissing herself laughing. And we tried it wouldn't do it again.
Nah.
That's weird, and it obviously was just saying you can enable this whispering skill if you want. It obviously heard me whispering and was like, "Oh, there's an app for this you can use. I better let him know by whispering." But I've never heard it do that before, and it fucking, mate, it shit me up, man.
Yeah.
It shit me up because it didn't even sound like the echo. It just literally sounded like somebody behind me was just like, it just snapped me out. I can hear you whispering, Greg. And when I froze and listened further, I was like, did I really hear that? And then I just heard, "I can whisper too."
The follow-up.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was like ice cold. Like, fuck. Oh man.
Jesus.
I felt kind of like that story. I think I told this story on the podcast we weren't able to release because my audio wasn't there. So I'm going to quickly retell it now. When I had fallen asleep on the sofa, with the back door open, and I woke up and it was like 3 a.m, and I was like, God, it's fucking cold. And I walked out in the kitchen, and the back door was wide open, and my Echo was like still playing music, not loud, but it was still playing music and stuff. And I was like, shit. So I like shut the door. I was like, it's been open all fucking night. Turned the music off. Then I heard a bang upstairs and convinced myself that a fox must be up there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
and then like spent the next 20 minutes like, with a fucking spatula and a fucking saucepan in my hand. really like slowly walking up the stairs, listening to every sound, fucking heart in my chest, fucking expecting some fucking rabid fox to come jumping round the corner at me. There was nothing there. It was all clear. It was just banging in general.
Yeah, I don't remember ever really having like any kind of like weird spooky moments like that when I lived on my own. I think it was like, I don't know.
Oh, I have loads living on my own.
Yeah, I can't really think of any when I was in Tolworth. Like, I can't really, I mean, there was definitely a few times where I like left one of the doors open because I had to get like there was 3 doors that I had to enter through to get into my fucking flat. So it was, I definitely left 2 of them open one time and freaked out a little bit about that. But no spooky things. I think the weirdest thing was when we were recording that time and then there was 2 guys on the roof, but it was all very much something that could be explained and they were just re-tarmacking the fucking roof or whatever.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't really say if I've ever had any paranormal experiences.
No, not a paranormal experience.
Not paranormal, but like
a couple of times. Yeah.
Spooky.
Just because my neighbour just because the old man next door for some reason just gets really loud at night.
Yeah.
Like it just turns to banging. It's like is he doing DIY? Sometimes I see him hobbling down the road, but at night it sounds like he's running laps of upstairs. Like
I do.
And after a while, I am like I always assume it's him next door, but Maybe there is a ghost up there that I've just only starting to realise now. I live on my own, but then I'm like, put that thought out your head, Greg, and just be normal.
Yeah. I remember when I lived with my mum and dad, and they were away, and I had some of my friends over, and we were just in the garden. Me and one mate were in the garden having a smoke, and it was late. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then where their house was, or where my mum and dad's house is, there's an alleyway that you can walk down to get to the roads behind it. And so we were in the garden smoking, and then all of a sudden we just heard like what sounded like someone trying to climb the fence. And it wasn't like a fox or anything. It was like a human trying to climb the fucking fence.
Yeah,
and we were just
yeah.
like, ah! Like went
Ooh.
inside and just grabbed knives. Like, and just peered out the top window in case we could see anyone like down like in the garden or anything at all. I don't know what the fuck we were gonna do. Like,
stab yourselves.
Yeah, just fucking
remove me from the situation.
It's just that sort of shit your fucking pants moment, and you're just like, you know what? I'm glad my mate's here, because otherwise I'd be fucking terrified.
Oh. Okay, all right. Last couple. This is good. This has sparked a few little good stories of our own.
That's good.
All right. Actually, no. Last one. International House of Nightmares. Ooh. I was driving across the US and drove into Salt Lake City. For whatever reason, I got a craving for IHOP. So I punched it into Google Maps and followed the directions to a spot in the middle of town. I walked in and the place was empty. I don't mean like there were no customers. I mean there was literally not a person in the place.
Oh.
No wait staff, no customers, no cooks, nobody. There was partially eaten food all over the tables and bags and purses in the booths. TVs were on everywhere. There were even burgers on the grill, slowly burning. There wasn't a soul in the place. It was just like they all vanished at once. I was so freaked out that I hopped into my car and drove until I hit the Nevada border before stopping to eat. I still have no idea what the fuck happened.
Yeah, that is weird. That is peculiar.
Yeah, that is odd. That is, and again, I know I've told this story before, but that reminds me of when we were with Lizzie and her brother Dan, and we were doing our trip through Europe. I couldn't even drive at this point, so Dan was doing all the driving, but we were driving back late from France, through France, and we were going through really rural areas.
Yeah.
And it was really late. Like, we were way behind schedule. Like, I think we'd been on the road at this point for like 12 hours or something stupid. Because we'd got muddled up. Anyway, we drove through this deserted like town, and it was like September, and we're driving through this deserted town, and it was like little houses that all had Christmas decorations up, but there was just no one around, and it was fucking scary, man.
That
it was
is
really
weird.
fucking scary. In
That
the
is
distance was like this. In the distance was like this big mountain. It was all mountains around us. In the distance was like this mountain, like this big church on it, which had all lights coming out of it, like lights around the bottom. But that was it. Everything else around was just deserted. And yeah, it was all these fucking little houses. It didn't even look that run down, but it had like bunting going across the road, and there was like Christmas decorations everywhere. Oh man, I remember this cat running in front of us, and we skidded off the road. Really intense stuff. But then we got to this petrol station, and Dan's filling up the car, and there's just no one there, man. There's no one at the garage. There's nowhere to pay by card. There's nowhere to put money in. There's just no one there. There's just no one there. And then we looked round the corner, and that's when Lizzie was trying to find a toilet, and we saw a sign which said toilets, followed it round, and we found all these guys hobbled around, sat around a fire. They all looked like fucking crackheads. And they saw us and all started getting up and kind of started like coming at us. And we had to run back and was like, go, 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 go. And Dan's like, I don't have to pay for the petrol. And it was like, fuck the petrol. And we just got in the car and drove off.
That's
just
fucked, mate.
Just filled the tank up for free, and then there was nowhere to pay, and there was no. It was all empty. It was so
Christ.
bizarre. Really, really fucking creepy, man. It was a really creepy, creepy experience.
I don't need that, man. I don't. Yeah, that is fucking peculiar.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it still plays in my mind sometimes.
Yeah, not everyone can say they've had that experience, man. You got chased
man, it was
by
scary.
like
It was scary.
gang of fucking ghouls. Like,
yeah, it was scary shit.
that is weird. That is weird.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad that sparked some of our own encounters and stories there.
Yeah.
And a random little list. I appreciate that of our tales of the strange.
As I said,
Their
yeah,
episode.
the one I did think of is, but I've told it before. It's the weird one where I saw a guy standing in a weird little sort of like caretaker's hut in a park, and then half an hour later we were walking past it, and the whole hut was on fire. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, weird, man, very weird. Very
Yeah,
strange.
that is weird.
I mean, probably
Ooh,
killed
that is
himself,
weird.
but like, why would you kill yourself
Oh,
by setting
God,
yourself
Jesus.
on fire?
Yeah, that's not the way to do it, is it? Really?
Nah, it was
That's not the
bizarre.
way.
It was one of the weirdest. Yeah, I was young. I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that.
I mean, I know it's been in the last year that I told this story, but it probably, I am going to retell it, but it probably is the last truly proper strange thing to happen to me. When I was driving home and I'd not long started where I work now at night, and it was dark, and I was driving down that windy little road in the middle of nowhere, not middle of nowhere, but it's in the middle of like woods. And I never see anyone down there because there's no path. It's just woods either side and this windy little road. And that man in a suit with a briefcase came out the woods.
Yeah,
and walked across the road.
dude, it's so
And
fucking
kind of like looked at me and just went across so casually, as if it was normal to be walking alone in the woods in a suit with a briefcase. And then I got round the corner, and then there was all those police cars outside that house, but all the police cars were all empty. All the lights were off.
Yeah.
But all the house lights are off. All the police had no lights. So it was just loads of cars, but not a single person around or any light. And then I drove further down into the next windy part, and there was that car just parked across the road with its doors all open and its hazard lights on. And I was like, what the fuck? I know, before I saw that, driving down, then I kept driving, and then I saw a light in the woods next to me, and there was a man using his phone as a torch and was like trying to like run through the woods down the side of the road. And I was like, fuck this!
Yeah, that's fucking peculiar.
Fucking
mate.
scary shit. I still have to drive that road. I always think about that, driving down that road when it's dark. I'm just like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen again? Nothing strange has happened since. It's all been fine.
Shame.
Stand down.
Well, if
Stand down.
I guess let's put it out to the listeners out there. If you've ever had any peculiar or weird experiences, do send them in to us. And
I'd like to read about those. Yeah.
Voice note, write it down, whatever you want.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah, do that for us. That'd be awesome. All right, I'd say it brings us to the end of the episode. That was a bit of fun, right? A bit different for a while. Been a while.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that too.
I think we should start going on Reddit more often and finding fucking.
I didn't even go on Reddit. I just did my usual strange stories, please. Google. Come on, I don't even say please.
Please.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You type it into Google.
Yeah.
You type the please into Google.
Please, I can hear you saying please, Craig. Leave me alone, Echo. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back in another couple of weeks. Have I got anything going on between now? I feel like I have, maybe not. So, where are we now? June? I'm trying to think if I've got anything exciting coming up that's going to be of interest. No, not yet. Not until end of August when I go to Sweden.
Nice.
So, no, we're okay for now. Okay, right. Thanks for listening, everyone. I have been Greg. I hear you whispering. Armstrong.
I've been Joe. Has anyone got any boggerel?
Hey!
Jackson. Anyone?
You've been listening to The All Seeing Guys with Greg and Joe, where Greg probably had some kind of list, and Joe most likely went for a piss 5 minutes before the end. If you hear this, it means that Greg hasn't sorted an outro yet. So maybe just imagine some music here, because honestly, that's all I actually wanted. Okay, bye.